I had gotten C4, that the workout, the pre-workout. Sorry, I had gotten that when I started at the gym, and it didn't really do very much for me. It was it was okay, whatnot. Um, and then one of the workers at the gym, like I want to say 2 to 3 weeks ago, because I was talking to them about the C4, and they're like, yeah, that's kind of for starters if you've never really worked out. And I was like, oh, okay. And so they
What'd you
showed me this.
do?
No, they showed me this other pre-workout. Dude, this shit makes me look. I've been whenever like for like the past like 2.5 to 3 weeks, I've been going fucking hard as shit because of this pre-workout. Like I'll take it, I'll drink it, and then I get like jittery. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm like fucking pumped. It's weird. Like I go there, I'll just sit there and run for like a good like 30 minutes and just running. I'm like, this is awesome.
What are you taking? What are you taking?
No, it's called here. I'll grab it real quick.
Yeah, what's the name of the?
It's called quote unquote woke AF, so woke as fuck. But it's this right here.
Okay. Okay, I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, and then man, I'm telling you, like my motivation is like fucking skyrocketing. I'm like, yes. Like I just have more energy. It's just I just have so much more energy. I can run for a lot longer. I push myself even more, man. It's awesome.
Okay. I'm happy for you.
You know what? Whatever. All right.
And then if you're ever feeling tired, if fix my meal plan, I drink chocolate protein shakes. What does that?
Whatever you do, you need to lose weight. Just lose weight. You don't need to. Okay.
Fine.
But you know what's funny though?
I would love to go to the gym with you and see you on this stuff and see what your version.
Well, no. So like I start out on the elliptical to get a warm up, and also what I started doing when I go on the treadmill, I noticed that hills are my weakness. Like I get really fucking tired on hills, even just walking. And so what I do now is whenever I walk on the treadmill, like when I run and then walk, I push the incline up to like 8%, sometimes 9%, and then I walk at a good speed. So then I'm trying to that, like I said, I'm trying to work on that because the hills are my weakness. And man, I tell you, it works. Like my stamina, I think that's also what's helping me with my stamina as well, the hill. And then like I'll run at like a 2% hill, and then whenever I go like faster, I'll just have it flat. Because running at like 2%, just 2% on the incline, running like that at like 5 miles an hour, I'm like, that really wipes me out. But like I'm like my whole body just completely just drenched in sweat, arms, legs, like I actually have to wipe it down. I'm like, okay, there's sweat everywhere. You could come up and this weekend and see, but no.
I have other things to do.
Sure you do.
Way more important things.
Let's get this shit started, bruh. So,
just Outriders?
No, I actually got, and me and Dylan, we started playing this game called Satisfactory. So it's basically like it's hard to explain. So Satisfactory is basically a game where.
Well, don't go too much into it. Just the games.
I know. It's okay. The games I've been playing: Satisfactory, and then the game that you Spiritfarer. And then I got back into Warzone because they said they had a new map. They said, hey, we got a new map. There's a nuke. And I jump into the game. There's a new map. It's not new. It's not new. I wanted to see. I was like, hey, they got a new map. But I don't know. I don't like. I maybe play it like once or twice on the weekend. I mean, I can't play it during the week anyways. And then like I'll play a little bit of Fortnite. But those are the only games that I can play with like Dylan and them. I mean, besides Satisfactory, and then I'll play a lot of Rogue Company as well.
Well, doesn't Dylan does he have Game Pass or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, he should.
Well, shouldn't he be able to play all those on PC? All of the.
Not all of them. Some of them are specifically only on
Console?
Games Pass 4. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like Outriders, you can't play on PC on Games Pass. You have to buy it on PC.
That's interesting.
But But yeah, I mean, we actually, well, I will say we did see there was hackers in Call of Duty in the Warzone, and in that specific game, like, dude, they were literally under the map. They were shooting us through walls, through complete buildings. We saw bullets. Me and Ricky, we saw bullets coming from the ground. We're like, where the fuck did we saw them? We saw the
And
kill
I never
cam. They're under
understood
the
why
map,
that. I never
and
understood
they're
how
just
that's
shooting.
fun.
I'm like,
I
but
never.
what I got to give kudos to Activision, because Activision Infinity Ward, they're actually actually starting to crack down on shooters, because that game we reported them and we saw them get kicked out of that game. They got banned because it said they timed out. So I was like, hey, okay, all right, good, fucking fine. Like, I mean, you know what though? I shouldn't give kudos, because why? Because that's their job. That's their job. It's their job to do that.
They get paid a good living for doing that. Let's not.
Yeah, but yeah. So Satisfactory, really cool game. Basically, it's you're on this alien planet, and you.
Well, I got to do the intro. I got to do the intro.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I forgot
I
that.
got to do. Are you okay? Are you okay? You're
I told
ramped
you
up. Are you okay? You need to get your like a cardiogram or whatever with your heart where they pump that ink in. I don't know what that is. But anyways, everybody, this is the Video Games and Nonsense podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Chase Carter. That's
Raymond Woods.
And this is where we talk about video games and nonsense. Ray, what video games have you been playing lately?
Well, like I jumped the gun. Yeah, so like I said, Satisfactory, a little bit of Warzone, a little bit of Fortnite, a good amount of Rogue Company. Rogue Company, man, I don't know. Rogue Company is that's like my go-to if we're gonna play some like a competitive game. And then also Spiritfarer and Outriders. Spiritfarer is a really cool game. It's so you're basically on this boat. You have this boat, and you basically death. And you go around, find spirits and stuff like that. And like I had said in the last podcast, but it's really cool because you could build like different rooms on the boat. Like you build buildings on the boat. You can build like um like you can plant stuff like a little farming area. The buildings stack on themselves.
Is it like are they preset areas where you can add them, or do you?
No, it's a specific square. Whenever you go like to build, it's like a green specific
outline.
Outline, and then you has to be inside that green spot. Like if you go out of it, it'll turn red, and then but you can stack buildings and stuff like that. And then the spirits the spirits they have one form, and then when they come on the boat, when you're taking them to the journey, they show their true form. Like this one person they had like their spirit form, and then when they got onto the boat, it showed their true form. And it's like a deer. It's kind of cool. And then you could talk to them. You can like give them a hug, and like it depends on their mood. Like you can cook fish and cook different meals and stuff, and they'll show like what their favorite food is and stuff like that. And then you could fish. Like you go to the back of your boat and you could just like fish and stuff like that. So you navigate to different areas. And while you're navigating, you can like fish and stuff like I said, and wait till you get there, and then like you get to like there's like certain places on the map. So what you do is you go inside the cockpit, I guess you could say. I don't know what it is called on a boat, but and then you navigate. You set a specific area where you want to go to, and then the boat automatically takes you there. And then but yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's just like a storyline to it, but it's different. It's definitely different. Don't play it if you're tired. You'll fall asleep. The fucking music, dude. I'm like, the music is like a lullaby. It just you're just like, oh, this is really cool.
That's what Ori and the Blind Forest has a really good soundtrack. Even Corey, she was in the room when I was playing it, and she was all, this music is really like soothing, and I was like, yes, they did a really good job.
Yeah. And then but yeah, Satisfactory, like you're saying, Satisfactory, that's one of the coolest games. One of the coolest games we've played, especially co-op. Because it's basically what it is. It's you'll have to check it out. No, I mean, and then another thing I did want to talk about. Have you heard of the role playing on Grand Theft Auto Online? Have you heard of that on PC?
Yeah, where people are actually police officers and
actual police officers, actual paramedics. All that. I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play that. Dylan and Ricky got into it. Our buddy Sebastian got into it. I was like, yeah. People are streaming it, and like they get like one of the streamers like Summit, he's been having like 100,000 to like 80,000 viewers every day because of fucking. I mean, he's well known, but because he's been playing, like, dude, I was watching him, and it's not like it's because it's a mod for Grand Theft Auto, and it's not like it's Yeah, it's pretty cool, but there's some things here and there that's not very realistic. No. It's incredibly realistic. Like it's dumb. Like he's in this police car because he was a police officer, and he would hear calls on his radio, and he could select which one to go to, and he went to there's the bank robbery going on or whatever, and he went there, and he sees another police officer there, an actual player, go up to the door and get behind cover, and then he parks his car and he gets behind cover, he has his firearm out, and then other real players, police officers, show up, and they get out of the car, and I'm like, what? And then so yeah, I'm gonna have to play that. I'm gonna have to try that out because that's crazy.
Now, when I wonder how in depth it is. Like I've heard of it, I didn't see it, but say, are the police officers with the NPCs as well? Like that's what I'm wondering. And then
I don't know. And then apparently you can pull people over, and you have like a quota to meet, and you can give them speeding tickets. You can arrest people. I'm like, what? People are geniuses, man. I'm telling you, that's crazy.
Yeah, they just take a game and then make it kind of their own thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's cool that because the thing is the developers have to allow that. They have to allow their game to be modded. A lot of developers, they won't do that.
Well, if you want your games to have legs and like have an interest in it for a long period of time, that kind of community, that modder community, can make it have. It's one of the reasons Skyrim is still, a huge game, is because modders and people can make it however they want.
But it's only on PC.
Yeah. Well, I know. What was it? I know Fallout had mods on the Xbox. Yeah. I know Bethesda had a deal with Microsoft. Now they are Microsoft. Oh, and I wonder how that's going to go forward. So
yeah, man, I know. That's going to be that, man.
Say if Bethesda has mods on Xbox only, and that's going to entice gamers to play it on Xbox because they're going to get a huge addition of content.
You know, it's actually funny. No, I just remembered it because and proof that I know this is completely off subject, but when I was talking about like how I've been working out lately, proof that I've been fucking doing this shit. Yesterday I didn't sleep too well yesterday. I slept for like maybe, like I told you, I slept for like maybe 2 hours, maybe 3. When I got to work, around like 9 o'clock, I started falling asleep, dude, literally through the entire night. I would fall asleep for like 2-3 hours, wake up for like 10 minutes, fall asleep for like 2-3 hours until 4 a.m. Hopefully my boss never fucking watches this. I got home. I fell asleep around like 6:30.
You theoretically fell asleep. You theoretically were like, you wanted.
Theoretically.
You wanted to fall asleep, but you didn't.
I got home, fell asleep around like 6:30, woke up at 1. So another 7 hours. And then I woke up, and it was like one of those times where you wake up and you're like, I need to sleep more. I could have slept for like another 3-4 hours. I was like, fuck me. But I was like, nah, I gotta get up. I gotta hit the gym.
Yeah, big gym goer.
No, it's been great, man. Like as you can see, this shit is fucking making me like fuck.
Yeah, you're going. It's making you do that?
I'm 3 miles an hour. It's real fast.
I'm happy you found a pre-workout that works.
That helps. Yeah, it actually works.
Yeah. There was one stuff I took. And I'll never take it again. I forget the name. But my sweat was gooey. Like it was in the crevice. It was coming out of my pores. Yeah, and I just took one serving, and I don't take a full serving size. I just take half of whatever it is. So I don't want to, like, I don't know what this stuff is. I don't want to, give a whole, and then just be, on edge the whole time. But I remember I was like, oh, I feel really good. And then I remember looking down at my arm. I was doing bicep curls, and right in here, there was like this milky cream, and I was and it was on this arm too. I was like, what is happening to me? And I was like, this is interesting. I was like, no, I was like, and then I went, I think I got lit, and I used lit because I like the flavor, and I haven't had a pre-workout that like really gets me going. You know what I mean? I just take most of them because they have vitamins in them, and blah blah blah.
That's another reason why I take this, is because and it's liquid form too, so it hits quicker, a lot faster.
Yeah. No, but I'm not deep into that world, but I just can't. I just want gyms to reopen. here to where I can go, like the
They're
gym
still
on
not
base.
reopened there?
The one on the one I can use on base.
But isn't that kind of far?
No, it's like a mile. It's like right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just do that.
I know. It's not open. I can't do it. I can't go, and I want to. But,
Well, I know that because I know that San Diego's a lot more liberal because up
yeah,
here
they don't want
it's kinda
any.
open.
They don't want anything open. There was the when I went to watch UFC 261. This last one. Did you watch it? End up watching on that Saturday?
No, I didn't end up.
It
going.
was one of the best ones
Yeah, but people are saying that. Yeah, people are like
ever.
going crazy.
You
about
like
it.
every fight on the card was just like holy. I had a big moment, and then of course the audience, and you would have lost your mind. This was one of the ones to watch. But it was just cool being, in a bar. Again,
Yeah.
just that whole thing. I still, the bar that it used to cook food, but now doesn't cook food. They get their food from a restaurant like down the street.
Yeah,
Which is-
I think I was there with you that one time.
I know that, but
Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
like that though. It's still like that. It's still, and I'm just,
I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I want you to come up here, man. Because okay, whenever you come up here, and whenever we do go to a bar, we have to go early. I'm not kidding. We have to go like 7, 8. Because if we get there at 9, 10, it's full. Like you standing. It's stupid busy. It's just because look, and the thing is, the reason why is because people from like Riverside and from fucking like Rancho Cucamonga, they're coming up here because they know up here is open. Because up here in the high desert, it's a little more conservative.
I know it's a little out it's in the middle of nowhere. People aren't going to come all the way out here to enforce the rules. But
yeah, so but
I kind of like the tables far apart from each other. I kind of like that. That's something I'm for. Pandemic, good job, pandemic. I'm liking this, 3 feet distance. I don't want to be hearing other people's conversation. If people are loud.
Yeah, no, good job, pandemic. You've shut so many small businesses down.
It's the one thing.
Go fuck yourself.
It's all not negative. Okay, it's all not negative.
No, it's all negative.
People are a lot less friendly up close. They're friendly from a distance, which I appreciate.
That's just because you're partly an introvert and you're just.
I don't like it. I want to go out and I want minimal contact between me and the server. I want hello, yes, okay, this is what I want. Okay, good. I don't want to see you any refills consistently.
When are the waiters and waitresses? What can I get you, sir?
They used to get real close.
No,
they'd lean in. I was like, okay.
Maybe they can't hear you. Maybe you're kind of a soft speaker.
Handshakes. Gone. Oh, I'm not a big handshaker. Every now and then's fine, but a little too much.
I know you're a hugger.
I love hugs. But have you? I've just been playing Ori and the Blind Forest. I've been doing. This is what I want to show you. This is what I did for Corey for her birthday. Mm-hmm. This is a little.
That's what? Jake turned what? 24.
Who's the last one? She cares. She a girl.
Grab her head.
Smack it. Mm-hmm. But this is what I want to show you. This right here. Okay. Now Corey, I went to every island. Okay, and found every cannon. And then which way it shoots. So like the area, I don't know what you would call it, the firing area of every cannon. And I color coded it. So say if this fort is active and we need to go to the fort and the skeletons are firing the cannons, this way right here is open. Okay. And I did this on this was a different one. I have to do that one. But these are just normal islands. So when we go, we can park our ship there so we can defend it from the island as well as the ship. So if someone tries to come and attack us, and I did this for I went to every single island and I color coded all these things and I edited everything, which way the thing fires, where, if it's elevated, if it's on a beach or not. I did all of this.
Very nice.
Yeah, for her. And then some of the, I got this from an app that has them located, the cannons, but some of them don't. I found cannons that weren't even on this app. That is like a huge app. So I'm keeping all this to myself. I'm not, I'm not going to share it with them. I don't want to do that because then other people are going to have that information. I want that's what I never understood about if people find glitches in games and then they share them. I would never. If there was like the super jumps in Halo 2 back in the day, If I knew how to do those,
Oh,
I would
man.
never, ever tell anybody.
Yeah.
I would, like, no.
Just do it. Cheat.
I would be, yeah. I mean, it's not cheating. It's in the, oops. It's in the game. It's in the game, so it's not cheating. So, like, if
it's an exploit. It's a hack. So
I wouldn't say it's a hack. You're not hacking the game. You're doing, you're crouching in a corner, walking.
No.
Up
You're
to
not
a little
hacking the
thing.
game, but it is a hack. It's a hack.
It's not a hack. I wouldn't use the word hack. I'd say it's an exploit. It's a glitch. I'd say it's a glitch.
No, because you have to do something. You have to do something in the specific game to activate that jump. So it's a hack.
I wouldn't say it's a hack. A hack is like adding a foreign code into the pre-existing
No, you don't.
code.
You don't have to.
That's what I'm
hacking.
thinking. A hack.
That's the
but a
act
hack
of
and
it.
hacking is the same thing. A hack and hacking, isn't that? Or my
hacking is the verb. That's the verbal of it. That's
okay.
doing it.
But
there's already a hack in there. There's already a hack in there. The hack is already in there.
That's called a glitch. I think we're going too far. I don't know. I
Your
think
mother's
you're wrong,
a
but
glitch.
I'm pretty dumb. So you could be right. I'm not saying anything. What did you think about Mortal Kombat?
I liked it. I thought. I mean, I'm not like huge into that in that world. I know my buddy Sebastian. He knows like everything there is. He knows all characters. All like the lore and all that kind of stuff. So he actually liked it because they one of the characters. I think it was the character with the wings. Mm-hmm. He said that he really liked that they added her because not very many people know about her. He said her name. I was like, oh, okay. Well,
it's like Natara or something like that.
Yeah, so something like that. And I was like, huh. And a lot of people were complaining about the storyline, and he's like, well, it's you don't play the game for the storyline. You don't watch the movie for the storyline. You watch it for the combat. Like, and I get it. Like, they could, obviously it's a movie, so they could make it. Someone could just grab it and make it better. So I understand that, but. So it's from someone who's like a huge fan and like played all the games. Like he played all the games. He's he plays it online. He'll play it against other people. His Sub-Zero is his favorite character. So hearing it from him, from someone who really really truly understands it, was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like there was some there was a little corny. There's some little corny parts. I did like Kano. His character was he betrayed it. He made it believable. Like. He, what I'm saying? Like he, it wasn't, his lines weren't corny. He really did a good job.
He added the comic relief to it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, that's actually funny. Like it's actually kind of funny. And then he became bad because Kano is.
Well, he's always double crossing people. That's just his.
Yeah.
His
but okay, but and then the fight scenes. I really enjoyed the fight sequences. I thought they were the choreography was pretty well done. I thought it was definitely a lot better than the older ones. Obviously.
Yeah.
But okay, your take. Go.
I did an hour on my look, the first 15 minutes were cool. The whole story was Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah, that part was mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Sub-Zero's Chinese and then Scorpion's Japanese.
And they don't
they haven't liked each other since apparently the beginning of time. That whole storyline.
That
awesome.
Clan, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who they picked to be Scorpion. The best. He's really the only one. Sub-Zero is cool. Sub-Zero looks a little weird when he takes his mask off. He looks like a young boy he looks like,
Yeah.
But when he has that mask on, he's Sub-Zero. Like it's not not even he's obviously a very cold, no pun intended, but very just calculated. And I enjoy, I'm saying all the things I like about it because I'm going to shit on this thing because it doesn't make it makes zero sense why they did it. I don't understand why some of these, but it's Hollywood. You have a lot of irons in the fire. Everyone wants to have their little thing, make it into the movie. Then if someone likes it, go, that was my idea. So you should hire me for this other job. Like just make a Mortal Kombat movie, hire a director and a writer, and then just put everything in it that they say. And if it sucks, it's on the writer and the director. But the Sub-Zero, awesome. How he was like a horror character in some instances. Like before he would show up, it would snow a little bit.
Yeah.
the big bad is coming. You know, like the
He
main
was
guy.
really powerful, really fucking powerful. Like I really like that.
And he should be, because he can control ice. He can
Ice.
control, you know, moisture in the air. He can turn basically anything he wants into a weapon. Awesome. The only time that which sucked is I accidentally that part of the trailer where he freezes the blood
Yeah.
and stabs him. I wish I could have saw that originally in the movie instead of in the trailer. And I went back and watched the trailer. Everything is in the trailer. Everything. There is nothing they did not show in the trailer. Besides the fatalities, that was it. And they weren't even that good. They weren't even the Kung Lao thing. Okay. And then it was good. It was good. Kano ripping a CG reptile's heart out. Why are they fighting a CG reptile? Why?
Yeah, I didn't that part I didn't understand. I was like, wait, why don't they just put reptile in it?
Why don't they put reptile in the game? But
that part. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
But maybe he's not like it would be confusing to have reptile, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero to the casual fans. But hey, guess what? This movie's not made for the casual fans. These movies are made for the people who and if the people who love Mortal Kombat love the movie, they're going to tell everybody else how cool the movie is and then get the casual fans on board. Green and blue, it might look similar, you know, on screen.
But the majority of people watching it are going to know who that is. Reptile, like me.
Who all these people are.
Or Smoke. A lot of people don't know. When I saw the Smoke, like I can't remember what scene it was. When I saw the Smoke, I thought it was Smoke, the character.
I got excited.
It's Smoke, it's Smoke, it's Smoke. And
I
then
was like, Shang Tsung teleporting for some reason. I don't understand.
Yeah, I was like,
the difference.
That's weird.
But okay, so and then the guy who played Shang Tsung is the accountant from The Dark Knight, and he's good. I'm good with calculation. Like that's all. His wig he looked really good I saw some of the promotional shots where he's Shang Tsung and like his head's cocked back and he's like green and he's like sucking in souls. That looked really, really good. But when he was walking around in that wig, the wig looked.
The wig did look a little weird. I'll give you that. I was like,
it looked terrible. It was bad. I didn't enjoy that part. The fight scenes were always it cut too much. It was cutting. Just show a fight scene from now the Sub-Zero and Scorpion fights. Awesome. More of that, please. I understand why they.
I did want a lot more of like shit like that. Like a lot more of that.
Just make it Mortal Kombat, John Wick. I don't understand why they didn't just the whole movie. This is a movie about fighting the brutalities and the fatalities in the video game are way better than what the movie is. So why am I going to go watch the movie?
Yeah.
The movie has to be better. Like just steal the fatalities from the video games and like the good creative new ones. They're unbelievable. They're whatever. Kano ripping someone's heart, that was cool in 1995 and 91, but not today. The Kung Lao thing is the only one that's kind of like more creative that they put in there. I couldn't remember, like Sub-Zero freezing Jax's arms, good, cool. Okay, but it wasn't a fatality because he lived.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. And then they made a character, Cole Young or Nick Cannon, whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's one of the new characters I didn't even know who he was. He's one of the new characters in the new games. Dylan had to tell me who he was. I was like,
no, he's not. He's brand new. Dylan's lying. Dylan doesn't know what he's talking about. Surprise, surprise. He's a brand new, from the director's mouth, he's a brand new character that they put into the movie because they wanted someone who represented the person watching the movie that doesn't know the movie and is learning about this along with the audience. And I swear to Christ.
Dylan knew his name. He's like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so. I was like, oh, I didn't know who that was.
Well, Dylan is wrong.
I don't know. That's weird.
He thinks he's somebody else. He's not there's no ex-MMA fighter. And by the way, the scene where Jax is fighting the one general, the guy with the hammer, the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
He's a side character in the Mortal Kombat movie, in the video games. But they were in the pit. But they didn't use the pit. They didn't use the spikes. They didn't use any of the like. You have classic Mortal Kombat scene environments, and the Sub-Zero, the finale takes place in a frozen MMA gym.
Yeah.
I don't want. And then the birthmark that gives you power, that it releases.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah,
it
I was
releases
like,
your chi
or whatever. Yeah.
And then if you kill the person with the birthmark,
You get it.
Then you get it. So the main character's bloodline doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
What does he have to do with anything? I don't understand. And then how Raiden can teleport any person anywhere from whatever. Okay, so if he can do that, why can't he just teleport people away? If you're gonna, if they're invading,
yeah, that part I forgot about that part. I was like, teleport them away.
Because he's the one who apparently brought Scorpion out of the Netherrealm and put him in the frozen MMA gym. Which part, by the way, the part where Sub-Zero has his little dagger, and he's like, oh, the dagger of Hashishish or whatever. And he goes to stab him, and then you hear like the Mortal Kombat theme song, like, and then it stabs through. Yeah, it stabs through, and he's like, "Get over here!" I was like, "Good, perfect." But the rest of the movie needed to be. We need a Snyder cut. We need reshoots. Okay, the guy who played Jax, I've seen him in other things. I don't care for him. Don't care for him. Sonya is okay.
Yeah, she's okay. She's okay. And we didn't really see her abilities too much. I mean, we never really. I did like how they showed Sonya's abilities in this movie, because in the other ones they never really did. She's like a normal person. I'm like,
well, no, she has these energy, like an energy blast or whatever. Yeah. But that's, I mean, she doesn't have a signature. Johnny Cage is like that green aura, that shadow kick, and all of those things. But he's apparently going to be in the next one, and
hopefully they'll do it better.
But they won't because this is successful. If this is successful in this way, they're just going to do more. The first 15 are going to be cool, and the last 15 are going to be cool. And it seemed like the middle chunk was created by a completely different director and fight choreographer. Just make a fight scene like in Daredevil. And this technically should be a TV series.
In the show, you mean? In the show?
In the show, Daredevil.
The show Daredevil was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You saw it? So you saw it. Okay, we're going to have to talk about that.
The fight scenes in the first season.
Dude, like in most of all of them, especially remember that one fight scene where he got his fucking ass kicked by that one dude and they were in like that building, and he had that like, I don't know what kind of blade, and he was like stabbing him, and he got fucking ripped up.
They kind of stopped doing that as the show went along. They kind of stopped those big where he would be walking down a hallway and he'd be getting his ass kicked. It would be
when he saved that boy.
Yeah. It would be filmed in a way where it looks like one shot.
Yeah.
Where it looks like one shot following him. And I'm just like, can you just do that, please?
And that pissed me off, because Daredevil, out of all that, that was the best out of
amazing.
That was the best
he's
one
supposed
out of.
To be into. I suppose that since Daredevil, I think Netflix lost the rights to that or whatever, or they expired. So I think they're going to take him and put him in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, and Jessica Jones, and then what's the black dude? I can't remember. He's
Cage.
Yeah, something. Yeah, Jessica Jones, him, and then the one something Punch. You know who I'm talking about? I can't remember.
Oh, that was I was looking forward to that.
They were all terrible. Iron Fist. All those were terrible.
Yeah.
All those were terrible. Daredevil was the only one, and then they had the Defenders. I don't understand. I tried watching Jessica Jones, and half the fucking scenes are all just hardcore sex scenes. I'm like, what am I watching? This is the stupidest shit ever. I don't remember
hardcore sex scenes.
Yeah, no, there's there maybe not as much as I said, but there are. Like, they're just fucking. I'm like, for me, I think it's the most annoying thing, and I don't know if I've ever told you this. If I'm watching a movie and it's not really about love or whatever, and there's just random sex in it, I do not like that. That annoys the fuck out of me. Like this movie Homefront with Jason Statham and James Franco. You might have seen it. And Winona Ryder's in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's about him. He moves away. His wife dies, and he moves to like this countryside, and he's with his daughter, and James Franco's like this drug lord or whatever, and and there's a random sex scene with James Franco and Winona Ryder. Like, it's not like crazy, but it just shows them humping, and I'm like, why? What is the point of that? I
James
just
Franco's attractive. I mean,
I don't.
honestly,
That's completely annoying to me.
if it doesn't advance the plot, it would have to be. It's like fighting in a. I don't understand if you're making a movie, everything that's in the movie should move the story forward. Everything, whether it be the sex scenes, an argument, a confrontation, even fighting. Like the greatest movies, when people are having a fight scene in it, and then even the characters' personalities come out in the fight with their fighting style. If someone's more defensive, if someone's more aggro and like pushes the action towards those kind of things should come out in a fight. And then it should be dialogue or whatever. Fight, fight, and then some kind of like how Captain America always says, I can do this all day, and he gets beat up, but like even though he can get bested, it's his will that his personality trait is there's a spotlight shined on it, so you know what he's about through his fight scenes.
Through all the movies.
And it was great when Captain America was fighting when they went back in time, and Cap was fighting Cap, and then the older one was beating up the younger one. He's like, I can do this all day. And he goes, I know. And it was a great little. It was
because he kept saying it in a lot of the movies, and people were like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
so they just kind of made fun of it a little bit.
They made fun of it, but like in a weird way, he's like he's sick of himself, like that kind of thing. It's like
because he got to the point. I know. They did.
And then Cap is just like, I'm trying to save all of this. He's like, what? But he can't say that. So
because he won't sell him. Yeah,
obviously. So it was good. Like those kind of little things where a story is told within the fight scene. Like, why are we watching? Because otherwise it just gets, unless the movie is just about fighting. You know what I mean?
Like John Wick.
Yeah, where it's just like his brutality and his emotions from losing his wife and then losing his dog, and that just sets him off. That like he was on a razor's edge balancing life.
He was about to come down, and then his wife or his dog.
Yeah. So his wife dies, and he's balancing. Like he got out of all this craziness. He pulled off the craziest job or whatever to get out so he can be with his wife. He did that. Now he's with his wife. He's relaxed. He's cool. She dies, and he's like, "What is my life? What is the meaning? I have this dog. This last thing I have of her is this dog."
And that's why he's just killing everyone.
Yeah, because he's lost everything. It doesn't matter. So you understand, like he doesn't care anymore. Like it was a wild dog that you let off the leash, and now he's just running wild. And
another thing too, man.
And all of that. So and all of that is shown through the fight scenes. Like he's just a cold, calculated killer, and that's what makes sense. Why?
And the second one. So two things. I love how everyone in the movie, like my brother Josh, he was watching. Me and him, we long time. We watched all of them. And Josh, he made a good point, and I kind of thought about it, but I never really like brought it up. Josh, he said, I like how everyone is afraid or weary of John Wick. Everyone, like they hear that name, they know who he is. Like,
well, yeah, because he's an assassin. He's
like one of the greatest ones. And then the one scene where he DeCentaneo, I think in the second movie when he when he blew up his house, and then he went to that. They were in that art museum or whatever, and he was sitting down. They're both talking to each other, and he's like, how are you thinking about doing it? Like he's talking about killing him. He's like, with that woman's pencil or the dude's umbrella or whatever like that. And he just stares at him. My hands. I was like, oh, like.
And Keanu Reeves is like dead face, like
and then, what's funny too is
no real emotion.
Yeah, and it's I remember for the Matrix, because you heard of the Matrix, Will Smith was going to do the role of Neo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently I read an article where Will Smith
that watched so terrible.
And that's the thing.
I love Will Smith, and almost
no, exactly.
Like no, Keanu Reeves is Neo.
Yeah. Will Smith, when he watched the movie, when he watched with Keanu Reeves, Will Smith said he was like, I would have ruined that movie. He's like, he said I couldn't. He said I wouldn't have been able to
play a straight.
What Keanu Reeves did. He's like, I wouldn't have been able to do it. He's like, I couldn't do, especially in like the second movie, like Keanu Reeves, like he knew he was the one, and he was just a fucking badass. He knew, you know what I'm saying? And so that was interesting to see Will Smith to be able to kind of come back from that and be like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, he
One
would
of the
have
biggest stars.
done what he did with like Suicide Squad, where he's always making some kind of joke
Yeah,
and trying to be
exactly.
funny.
Because that's his character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
that's his like personality. Like he wants people to like enjoy themselves and to be
sure.
like he's done serious roles before, but in those kind of action,
Yeah,
he's always he wants to be the hero and then also the comic relief, and that doesn't always
yeah,
work.
it doesn't always. Yeah,
Yeah, and then in that one movie where his newest one, what was it? Like clone. It was one where he has a clone.
yeah. I actually liked that movie. I actually thought it was really good.
It's not bad. It wasn't terrible. But what's funny is it was like Will Smith doesn't. His co-star is Will Smith. Like he wants to play the bad guy and the good guy.
Fresh Prince version of Will Smith.
Yeah, I saw. So you want to play all the roles? Is this Eddie Murphy? Is this where he plays all of the? He's all of the clumps. Like what do you?
Well, the reason why that movie, the reason because so I had heard I can't remember what the movie's called, but I had heard that people the reviews are like, oh, it's the same kind of spy who did it, blah 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 blah, and then I watched it and I was like, that's not really. I mean, it's kind of like how it is, but that's not really how it is. Like it's kind like I said, it's kind of like that, but then it was different, like because they kept cloning him, and then that one, the fucking like the one clone of him towards the end of the movie, who was basically a robot, a complete robot. The fight scenes where he was just completely I was like, I mean, it was a lot of it was CGI, but at the same time, you're like, oh my god, like you could tell he was just overpowered as fuck, and I'm like, dude, that to me, that's what caught me off guard. Like I like that he was he was so good that they just kept cloning him, and then the more clones that they had, he was more robotic. And just
like his personality got out, and then he had to rescue the one clone, and then he became like a father figure to his younger self or whatever. Yeah,
so that's what I liked about it, because that part was the different part, and the fight scenes were really good. Like when he was just like his younger self was just faster, and he just throwing haymakers, but the haymakers were like super fast. Like it didn't matter because he's basically robotic. He's genetically engineered. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool. Yeah. Like stuff like that was.
Well, speaking of haymakers, you missed a few.
Yeah, no, I know. I wanted to watch it because I didn't want to go to the bar because, like I said, I'm trying to, especially with trying to lose weight, and then with the diet, alcohol is a huge thing where that plays.
Well, you can just not drink, Ray. You can just not drink. You can go
I could just go and then I should have just went to. I should have just went to. No. I don't necessarily like the taste of beer. If I'm drinking beer, I'm doing it to.
Well, then get like a mixed fruity drink. It tastes like Gatorade. And you're like, this is good. Get
well, no. What I should have just done is I should have just went and had food at like Whiskey Barrel, because Whiskey Barrel, they have a really good food. They have like really good tacos and like a really good.
Do they show UFC?
Yeah, they do that.
Huh.
It's a full kit. Whiskey Barrel's a full kitchen and a full bar. It's really nice.
Well, a place that actually I can watch UFC and get food. But the place. Listen to me. The bread. I don't know. Did you have any of the bread and biscuits?
Where?
Last time when we went to UFC. Okay.
No.
It's really good.
Good.
Some of the I only ordered bread and then biscuits. And then
you know what's funny? There's a place actually down in
delicious.
Victoria Gardens. It's called Lucille's. It's a barbecue place.
Yeah.
Danielle and when we were together, we would go down there a lot. We actually went down there just recently. We just took my parents down there. I think it was for like their anniversary or whatever. But they have apple butter, and then they have like these sweet biscuits.
Delicious.
Dude, okay. They're so good. I could literally have just those. And the apple butter, dude, it's I don't know who thought it up. It's just like
I've never heard of apple butter, but
yeah, no, I know. Like I never heard of it before I went there, and then you try it, and it's like a sweet kind of butter. But it's not like a overly sweet. It's just a hint of sweetness that's the perfect amount, and it just melts on the fucking biscuit, and or just like the garlic butter biscuits at fucking Red Lobster.
Yeah.
I know you've been to Red Lobster, right? I don't know if you really like seafood.
Yeah, but
yeah. Garlic.
Yeah, the last time I went there, I was with Corey, and we went there. I can't remember. We were traveling somewhere. I can't remember where we were going, but we stopped at Red Lobster and ate. It was those biscuits are always good. I don't go
Yeah.
there. I don't go there often. Maybe like once a year I'll go there
Well, yeah, it's pretty expensive. Obviously, it's
for a,
seafood and all that.
for a
surf and
special
turf and all.
occasion. We went to some seafood place when we went whale. Part of my family they came down and we went whale watching.
That's actually
Like,
really fun. That's
like it's cool being out in the water. Like, but I'm not used to being on surface ships on the water, so I get seasick. So being on a submarine, you don't really feel the waves. You don't feel them at all. And it was like this little. It was a small little boat, and it was just I was like, I had to stand in like a specific spot, otherwise I was getting nauseous. But then there were no whales, and so it was just dolphins and seagulls.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm like, I'm not gonna be out here for 3 hours looking at water. Like I've been out here. I've been out here enough. I know what the ocean looks like. I got it.
That reminds me that reminds me of the show, the episode Psych, where Sean and Gus they go on that boat to try to solve that, or there was like hostages or whatever. And Gus is like real seasick, but he has like those patches that help him. Like I can't remember what they're called, but like they'll get taken off, and he's just like he's all sweating. He's like, and Sean's having to like carry him. But it's funny actually. Me and Danielle years ago, we actually went down to I can't remember where the fuck we went, but we went whale watching. We actually saw blue whales. That was cool.
It would have been cool to see a whale. I've never seen a whale. I've heard of them before, but I've never.
They were just huge, just come out of the water, and I'm like, oh my god, dude! It was crazy. It's an experience. It's one of those things where it's like, and they had dolphins and stuff as well. The dolphins love riding with the boats. They fucking love it. I swear to God, don't get me talking about dolphins. Okay, they're one of the smartest fucking mammals on earth.
Are you okay?
I'm still jittery.
It seems like it. That's what Joe Rogan was talking about dolphins. He's like, people go fishing all the time and you never catch dolphin.
Oh, fuck no. Because they probably see the line. They're like, you ain't getting me, bitch.
Like, that's a person. That's Jeff. I was like, but it is interesting that they're not fish. Like they aren't mammals. Yeah. So it's interesting that they have a completely different way of thinking. And and then whales have different dialects depending on where they live on the planet. And it's just
orcas are really fucking smart too. Orcas are smart as fuck. Dude, it's crazy, man. But anyways,
yeah, there's a huge rabbit hole you can go down. There was something what was it? Because when we were I was a sonar technician, and then so when you're in the water, you can hear the whales you can hear them. I don't know if they're traveling alongside us or what, probably. Or if they're just really far out, but like you can hear the dolphins.
Yeah.
And then you hear
you're just like
that was all. Yeah. It after a while, hours, it becomes soothing, and it's just
yeah, man.
Just go right through. And it's just.
But then if I'm out in the ocean, I see a whale, I'm screaming. I'm probably gonna pass out.
They're so big. Could you imagine being on like on a sailboat crossing the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean?
No.
And then just seeing, and then never seeing. Oh, and then all of a sudden you hear about, and then just huge monster.
Yeah, come out of the water.
Bigger than anything you've ever seen before, and then just you just saw, and then you understand why human beings just make up these stories, like of gods and monsters, and then. I understand. Oh, okay. I understand where these huge beast stories come from. Like you see these things, and then that one person's like, I don't know what it was. This huge thing. And then that story gets morphed into something else, and then it was this monster that grabbed the boat and brought it under. And you're like, okay, I can see. Because I'm amazed now when I understand when we have a bigger grasp of what's around us. But can you imagine like in the 1600s, 1700s, and just.
What is that? What is that?
Like, I don't know what that is, but I don't want that anywhere near me. I'm going to go back on land where I belong.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. There was one thing I wanted to ask you about.
Uh-huh.
Or something else. Let me see here.
Oh yeah, I need to write that down because that's probably one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
Have you played MLB The Show at all?
No, I haven't played it yet.
Okay. Well, I can't ask you about that. Because I want to see what you think of the pitching and hitting.
Okay. I'll probably download it this weekend, try it out.
Mechanics in the game. I want to see because there's like a meter. There's it's like a pinpoint pitching where you have to move the thumbstick for a certain pitch. You have to move it in a certain pattern of the right stick. But then it's not just that pattern. It's the timing of it. Mm-hmm. So when you start the movement, you have to move it at a certain speed. So if you move it too quick, it's red, and if you move too slow, it's yellow. So it has to be like
Okay.
this green area. But then that timing also is dictated on the pitcher's windup. So it's all this.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And every pitcher has a different windup and delivery and all this. I'm in the weeds with that. There was another thing. Outriders you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, just there's another glitch where there's this for the trickster. You have this one class or this one ability where it's called Cyclone, and it's like you use these like time blades and you spin around real fast.
Okay.
And it's Cyclone. Apparently, there's a glitch where if you get hit by an enemy, like I think like a melee enemy or whatever, you can get knocked out of the animation, and your character will be, and apparently happens a lot. You'll be stuck in a falling animation, and you can't sprint or run. You can't do really anything like that. You're not even walking. You're at this slow moving, just slowly moving. And the only way to fix it is if you have a team with you, you have to have them exit the game and then try to have them come back, or whatever the guy said. I can't remember. It was on Reddit. I was reading it. Or you have to exit from the game, go back to the lobby, and then go back in. And I'm like, I don't understand how there's so many game-breaking glitches. That's my like. Look, we all understand that there's going to be a certain amount of bugs and glitches when a game comes out. Look, I understand that. I understand that coding and video game development. I understand that's incredibly difficult, and that's probably an understatement. I understand that, but I don't. Like I said, I don't understand when there should be no excuse when there's when there's so many game-breaking glitches, so many crashes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Also, for some reason, okay, because there's world tiers in the game. You played it. There's world tiers. Yeah. And what the game tells you, if you're at a part and you're stuck and you can't beat a certain part, they say lower the world tier because then it's easier. Say like you're at world tier, the top world tier 15, and there's something really hard, and you're say like at that world tier you're doing like 50 to like 100,000 damage. When you lower the world tier to make it easier, say like if you go down to world tier 10, it scales. So your power that you do lowers as well. It scales to whatever level the enemies are at world tier 8. Doesn't matter what level your gear is. Your gear could be level 50, but if you lower the world tier down, your damage goes down.
So how does that make the game easier? I don't understand.
I don't know. Like, I don't get it. Like I said, I don't understand it. And then they've talked about look, with the bugs and glitches that there are now, especially on PC, because like I said, Ricky, he got the game. He's been able to play it a little bit on PC because the game keeps crashing on him. He can't play the game. It's virtually unplayable. I can't play the game on PC because it's a bug. They don't even have a schedule for when this big patch is supposed to come out. They don't even have a schedule for it. They're like, we're working on it. We're in the testing phases, and we'll come out eventually in the near future of when we'll have a schedule for the patch. I'm like, I don't understand what you guys. I don't understand this. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. That's completely frustrating to me. That is unbelievable. Like I said, and then it seems like newer and newer glitches are coming out, and then multiplayer is unplayable. You cannot play multiplayer. There's glitches where certain attributes and certain weapon mods won't work in multiplayer. The game will just crash even more. All this stuff, and I'm like,
and this is a game crazy. You asked me to play with you? You asked me to
Well, no, that's the thing. I know, that's the thing. I had read that after, when I told you, hey, man, we should play multiplayer, because they said they fixed crossplay, okay? And then I read it after. I read the article. I was like, and then I forgot to mention it last night. But I wanted to mention it on the podcast. I was going to say it last night when I was talking on the phone. But I was like, I'll wait for the podcast so, we can talk about it. It just gives us more to talk about. But yeah, dude, I don't get it.
I don't know either. I mean...
Wow. But okay, so there is this one video. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I don't know if it's... you can screen share, right?
I can.
Okay, hold on. One second. Because I don't know if you've seen it. Have you
What
seen?
is it?
Have you seen the video where Antifa? This one dude fucking smacks the fuck out of these two Antifa motherfuckers with a pan.
No.
Dude, hold on, I gotta show you. You're gonna fucking die laughing. Okay, dude, I when I saw it, I kept watching it. I was
Is it a
crying.
YouTube thing I can Google?
Yeah, actually, here I can just if we want, I can try to
What's the name of the video? I can just.
oh, here it is. Antifa gets frying pan.
Someone hit
Okay,
with a frying pan?
Yeah. Here, I'll say if can I share this? I should be able to share this. Why can't I? Let me click on
I
this.
just typed in Antifa and it was hit pan was the first thing
Yeah.
that popped up. That's funny.
Okay, I'm copying this. Okay, let me here. I'm gonna send it to you in this.
Trans.
Here, it's in the
Is
chat.
it a year ago? Oh, this is a year ago. Is it a year ago?
Yeah,
Oh, this was a while ago.
This is June 2019. I know it's fun. Well, I was saying Chase, hold on, pause it. I was saying you could screen share it so then they can see it on YouTube if you want.
Well, I don't want to share any content because I know that's how people get that shit gets pulled down.
Oh yeah, okay.
But they can just Google frying pan Antifa.
Yeah.
Why does it sound so funny?
Ping!
It's ping. If it wasn't for the sound, why is it? Why? First of all, it's if oh my god, if you're not gonna watch this, it's all these people in these pink masks. Apparently, they're Antifa for breast cancer awareness, and the rest are in black, and there's a bunch of people gathered. I would say 30, 40 people, and then they get into an altercation. And then there's some, people fighting, some people, pushing each other. And then all of a sudden, this guy with a frying pan comes out of nowhere and just smacks this dude in the head. And if it wasn't for the sound, oh my God, that's funny.
Dude, did you notice the dude who hits him? He still has a cigarette in his mouth. Bing!
He comes on, this guy has a cigarette in his mouth. He doesn't have a mask on. And then he just comes by and just ping. And then there was another person he hit. So he hit two people and just knocked them down. One of them got right back up. It seemed like, but that was funny. Frying pan. That needs to be on. That needs to be on the headlines of every news.
I know. Yeah, I know. Steven Crowder. He because videos surface. They can be old as fuck. They surf. It's just But Steven Crowder, he showed it on his show, dude. Everyone in his show was just fucking dying laughing, dude. Okay, so I want to read you this.
I'm just thinking, like, why does this guy have Okay, there's Antifa's protesting or doing something. I don't know what they're doing. There's a bunch of people in masks, and then somehow this guy has a frying pan.
Yeah, where did he even get that?
What?
Maybe he planned it. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna bring a fucking frying pan.
I don't understand.
I would go home. I would just go home.
Are they camping? Is this a night out? I don't understand.
Dude, I would go if someone's. I don't care what I believe in. I don't care what I'm protesting for. If someone came and smacked me in the fucking head with a fucking frying pan, that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm never coming out here. I'm never doing anything like this.
It's so disrespectful. Like he wasn't even like you're not significant enough for him to hit you with his fists or a real weapon. He takes you out with a cartoon weapon. Like that's.
I was just like, did he just fucking hit me with a frying? I'm going home. I'm going home.
This guy hit me with this giant metal. No, he didn't. It was actually a frying pan. Was he?
So, okay.
Oh god, that is funny.
So I wanted to read you this tweet, and I can't see how many people retweeted it because it's cut off. But it was about the police shooting with Michaela, the 16-year-old, whatever. Who he saved her life, by the way. Let's because a lot of people don't know that. This was from on Twitter, and it's blue checkmark. Says defund. The title is defund and abolish police, refund our communities, and then it's at Bree Newsom. Says teenagers have been Teenagers have been having fights, including fights involving knives, for eons. We do not need police to address these situations. By showing up to the scene and using a weapon against one of the teenagers, y'all need help. I mean that sincerely. This was
But the
12:27
police were
a.m.
called there. The police were called there by the people, by the lady and the woman in pink.
Yep.
Because it was originally
April 21st.
it was originally reported that Micaiah Bryant called the police, but that's apparently might not even be true. That was not her. Yeah. So there's so many different. When I first saw the video, I was like, this is mess. I was like, why did that police officer? Because everything happened so fast. And I couldn't see what was going on. It just looked like a bunch of people fighting.
Yeah, just fighting.
I was like, they didn't need to shoot her for just fighting. Like, that's not whatever. And then they slowed the video down. And I'm like, oh, she was trying to kill that other girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a knife right there. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. And then I saw someone say the police officer shouldn't have shot her 4 times. It's like maybe once or twice. And I was like, I don't know if you can argue that. I can see if he shot her 10 times or if, just unloaded the entire...
she's on the ground and just like laying there and then he just keeps shooting her. But he would get in trouble for that. He would get in trouble for that. That's overkill. He'd get in trouble.
He saw someone trying to kill another person. Regardless, she's old enough to kill somebody. It's not like a little 5-year-old with the knife and you'd be like, hey, grab the wrist. Yeah. I was like, if that person was coming at me with a knife, I would fear for my life. Like, it's not a... that she was an adult-sized person that can do damage to somebody else. And it's like, it's sad that a 16-year-old even gets into that predicament where she's like, the police are there. So if she was the victim of the bullying or all these other people and the police are there, why is she coming out of the house to fight the people
I don't know, man.
in the middle of the street? And I'm just like, I don't get this. I honestly don't understand. You think it's okay to act that way in front of the police who has guns, and then if I was African American, if I was black, I would be on my P's and Q's. You should be on your P's and Q's around police officers anyway because of the shit they have to deal with on a daily basis. It's like you don't want to give them any excuse, any reason to think. Like, anytime I'm around police, I don't put my hands in my pockets. I don't make any quick movements. I don't just for their own peace of mind. Like, officer, like I've been going up. I've been like waving at police officers, and I'm thinking about thanking the police officers because they're getting such a fucking hard rap right now.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about going up. I'm thinking about going up to them and just thanking them, kind of how we people did. Like when I was in the military, people would come up to me when I was in uniform, like, "Hey, thank you for your service," or whatever. I'm thinking just doing that to cops now. And then
because appreciation goes a long way.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, I know like social media like demonizes you, but that's not what the majority of people think. Most people, appreciate you guys, and for some reason, you are the class of people it's okay to go out after right now. For some reason, it's cool to go after cops.
Yeah,
and so I'm just.
And what gets me too is you have all these people who are saying a bunch of stupid shit about the police, and it's like. Almost what you could argue 100% of the time, the police are called to the situation. When they get there, they don't know what's going on.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't know.
They have no clue what's going on. They don't know who they are. They don't know anyone. They don't know what the situation is. All they hear is they get a call. Oh, someone has a gun. Someone has a knife. Someone this. Something that. Something this. They go there. They're going into a possible deadly situation, not knowing anything that's going on. Anything. That is the most dangerous one. You could argue nowadays the most dangerous job because you don't know.
It's that, and like I would say, military people who see action. The people on the front lines, like people in the army.
Well, yeah, of course. But
because but even that, like they're going into situations, some of the time where they understand what they're doing. But a patrol officer is going up to someone's house. He doesn't know the layout of the house. He doesn't know the nooks and crannies of that place. He doesn't have any information. He's just going there to try to help and to calm the situation down. So people don't get killed.
And so
they're acting like these cops want to shoot people.
Yeah, and when you hear of course you hear the radicals who say, "Oh, police are just going around shooting random black people." I'm like, what are you talking about? Where are these videos? Please show me all these videos of just people getting.
Yeah, just
they're not there.
We're just walking down the street, not doing anything, and then they get shot. Like it's always when they're getting into like an altercation or a fight with the police. And a lot of the times, these people have prior records or warrants out for their arrest. The police have to arrest them.
That is their job.
You don't want them to. You don't want them out on the street. Like they're violent criminals.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Like when the woman apparently accidentally shot that 20-year-old kid. I was like, he had a warrant out for his arrest for robbing someone at gunpoint.
And then resist arrest. Try to get into his car and run away.
And then like you shouldn't get shot for I would say running away from the police, but that is something that could happen when you're running away from people with weapons, and then you're a violent criminal who had a gun on you.
Well, actually, police. If someone tries to use a car against police, they can shoot them because they basically call it a 6,000-pound bullet.
Well, yeah, a car is obviously a deadly weapon, but like, do you want that guy to get into a police chase? Like, if the cops just let him resist arrest, get in the car, and drive off. Now you're in a police chase. Yeah. Well, what if he runs into a family, with kids in the car?
Of course they don't think about that.
And then cops are going to be blamed for that. Well, why'd you let him go? Well, I can't stop him. The only force that would have stopped him is deadly force. Right then in that moment, he outpowered me or whatever the cop or whatever, and then the cop he didn't. I guess I was listening to a police officer say he should have brought him back to the where he doesn't have access to the door. Like the way they were arresting him was bad. So that's just bad police work, just in that general. And then it became even terrible where the woman thought she had a taser in her hand. She worked for the police department for 20-something years.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and then it was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. I'm like, how do you mess up a gun? Yeah, but like a lot of people don't even pull their guns. Some people, cops go their entire
without pulling their
without even unholstering their weapon. So it's extremely rare in some cases. So I'm just like, but just to go out and say that these police officers are shooting people based off the color of their skin, I'm just like,
yeah, I'm like it's completely false. And
like
I said, when you see someone lying like that, like just a complete fabrication, that they're doing it for another reason. Like there's no other reason besides a certain narrative and to
Well, it's because they make money off of it. Like it's all financial stuff. It's all like if you can say that the police did something wrong, you can sue them and then make money off of them. So like it's all
Breonna
about,
Taylor, her family got like $26 million.
It's all like George Floyd's family got $27 million, and I was like, he made like So like it doesn't. It is if you're a drug addict, if you're a criminal, if you're hoping. So if the people you're really scared about are the other criminals, because if they shoot you, there's no settlement. There's no big settlement. You're hoping to get an altercation with the police, and then they make a mistake, and then you're a millionaire. Yep. And then your family's a millionaire. I'll never make $27 million for my family in my life. But a person who's doing he shouldn't have died. He shouldn't have knelt on his neck for 9 minutes. There's other ways to handle that situation. But like, I don't understand. Like, I'm wondering why they're lying about certain interactions with the police. And I'm like, oh, settlements, oh, money, exposure, like people in political office. They're like, oh, they sympathize with our cause, so we're gonna, elect them.
Yeah, but then they start talking about defunding the police, and I'm like, okay, what's the point of that? What's the point of that?
Well, they want the money to be allocated because people think the police department's over bloated. So they think they're going to take the money from there. They're just looking for a reason, I think, to take money from one department and put it into something else, like something that they can fund, something that they believe in. I don't know. But you got to go to work here in a few minutes anyway.
All right, Chase, that was a good one. I like that.
It was pretty good. Well, this has been the Video Games and Nonsense podcast. I'm Chase Carter. That's
Raymond Woods.
And we appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Go to work, Ray. I'm tired of talking to you.
Sorry.
I remember